So as much as it's been fun sharing my love of travel and my travel experiences, I wanted to just share a bit more about the community level of accessible travel and some other insights from my professional life and my career. So I started working at a disability charity called Scope, and I suppose they lent a little bit more into the sort of housing and social care and the foundations of disability and living independently. But they were doing some good stuff around leisure and tourism. I then went on and started a magazine, and one of the main pillars of content that we did at Disability Horizons was accessible travel. So many people wrote articles about whether they went for a trip overnight in their local area, more the region, or their big dream trip to the other side of the world, a bit like my trip to Australia. There were so many people sharing these stories, and I recommend actually having a look at some of those stories to get more inspired. And then I mentioned I started Accomable, which was accessible accommodation travel website. And we ended up selling the business to Airbnb. And that gave me so much more knowledge about what is more available in terms of the accessibility and the accommodation in different countries. And also the number of people that really want to travel. So it's sort of repeating a bit what we said before, but there's so much improvement. There's more availability than certainly 20 years ago, for sure. But it's just knowing how to find those nuggets of pockets of accessible accommodation, which, as we're saying, that's what we're going to be learning later on into this course. But in terms of bigger picture, I think there's so many, accessible travel agents that have popped up in the last years. There's more hotels ensuring that they do have more adapted rooms. There's tourism destinations and tourism boards that really want to welcome disabled people. So I feel like if there was ever a good time as a disabled person to travel, then now is definitely that time more than ever, once you're armed with these strategies and tactics and tools that we're going to learn.